And welcome back to Map 2, the round of 8 matchup between London Lynx and mYinsanity. Currently, London Lynx have a 1-0 lead after taking Inferno 16-11.
Yeah.
And it is Cobble.
Yeah. And unfortunately for mYinsanity, it is London Lynx map pick. So
due to the way that the veto process works out, it does mean that mYinsanity have the choice of choosing which side they actually want to start, and they have chosen to start T side on Cobble.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. Again, we've discussed it a few times so far, and yeah, I mean, as long as they have a clear idea of how to, take this T half, then yeah, I mean, I respect it. Fearless with a spawn you only seem to get.
Yeah, this is actually a pistol exclusive.
Yeah.
Technically, it's the game restart
I think
exclusive.
It's first round of the entire game exclusive, indeed.
Yeah, and
he's
sadly we're not going to see it. He's not taking it, is he? Which
fair play sportsman-like, I suppose.
Yeah, I remember whenever I used to get that spawn in tracks and stuff, we wouldn't take it just because it's not a regulation spawn.
Yeah, and it's just going to be a fast drop.
Yeah, full 5-man drop. They've used all their grenades to get down drop, and they're going to be meeting 4 players, and they're getting destroyed. Franks they take up 2 really quickly, and they've actually got all the ones in sight, but surely not anymore. Brody takes 2 of them down, 2v3, makes it down to 3v1, and they get taken out really quick from Zio.
Yeah, I mean,
some crisp headshots coming out from the CT side there, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that Glock train down drop, it will work if they get the first
Yeah,
entry,
I think you need to get the kill in drop to make that, a thing that can happen.
Yeah, smartly London Lynx, they're not playing to fight it, and they were just ready to mow them down when they flew out that electric door.
Normally you find it quite difficult to actually get them when they're jumping out, if they're jumping out there, I suppose. So the key part is, if you miss the first guy, the round is absolutely messed up.
Yeah, I mean, everyone probably feeling it a bit more on land.
Ooh. Did Trouble... He should be hearing the sound cues of them towards side, but they're actually dropping close to mid.
He has called the rotation 2 members.
It's because he heard them drop close to mid door, but they haven't actually come through or anything.
Interesting.
This is a peculiar one.
Yeah,
like they saw him at mid.
Normally when you see rounds like this, it's normally the players running up A long, going down matrix, and then sort of resetting. But yeah, I mean, they haven't taken much control, and
Emperor actually wasted 9 bullets as well in that process.
Of his
like when he saw Trouble,
Yeah. Oof.
Frankster.
That's a bold angle to take from Frankster. And
he's holding it still as well.
He is, he's confident.
There we go. I imagine he just goes straight back into it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Daddy Frank. Let's go.
Yeah, had a really good pistol round, obviously. And Trouble actually does face mid and no trade. Despite having 2 players that were actually close towards him, they get nothing out of that.
Now they do spread the CTs relatively thin here. It's up to Zio in drop, potentially.
He'll be hearing them absolutely stampede down. So they're baiting Dylan because he's low and he's going down first off. But Zio takes down 2, which is perfect. Fearless just needs to stay alive in my mind.
He's in a great position.
He should be able to shoot at least one of them in the back, potentially both, actually, just both.
Neither of them had head armor. And
yeah, they both face towards him and everything, but
I mean,
Fearless pops them both.
They've lost 2 members there, but
that's
nothing to write home about.
Yeah, that's against a 4-spy as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like the same as the last round, or last map rather.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where it was a clear, just Glocks, no armor, maybe Beta 50 here and there. So this should be a thrower, and I imagine they just go straight through mid, potentially. And sadly, they're going to be running straight into Trouble, who does have an SMG, and he has backup. He actually faces straight into them.
That nade.
I imagine Zio will just clear them up. That's 1. Can he get a second? 2. Only 2. But the second. Here are the reinforcements.
Trying to
the row here.
Yeah. The man
quick and fast, and Crizzy has forgot the bomb.
He has, and he's just going to get...
They are just hunting him.
He's going to get crunched. Oh, he does pick up 1.
Yeah.
I mean,
$600 bonus.
Potentially a bit too expensive, but I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me correctly, those were 3 SMGs that they lost. They did get that from us at the end.
Yeah, they did keep it. So ultimately, you only lose like the armor.
Not the worst case
grenades he had, I suppose. But a quick start from 3 players from this London Lynx side: Zio, Fearless, and Frankster. Arguably the more experienced 3 of that team as well.
Yep.
Like obviously Cyber's plays in CSS as well, but Frankster obviously played on Dignitas. We've got Zio, he's been playing on Source, multiple teams, and Fearless, UK Skins, as well as various other lineups in CSS too.
UK Skins? I believe that's Easy Skins.
That's just because they represented the UK on such a phenomenal level.
Of course, yeah. Many events.
Exactly. But Fearless gone straight for the AWP. And obviously Brody, he did have some shines of life on, that CT side last map.
And yeah, I mean, similar to how we've seen them play most of this tournament, they've slowed it right down. And Trouble, he's got a lot of info in mid. He seems more than happy to hang around here.
It is interesting to see the different ways that some CT sides do play this A side. Like obviously we saw some teams play it just the solo 1 guy. Obviously Trouble's doing that right now as well.
Has called over the rotation.
Yeah.
A bit later into the round even.
The issue is they don't have any grenades here, so they are committed to a fight if it does come their way.
Quite an interesting setup as well. Potentially going for the double bait.
It's a weird one, because if somebody walks up alley, which is what they are actually doing right now, they can just get shot straight in the back there. But Trouble does push for the aggression, which is perfectly
they've
fine.
taken
It's a good
mid.
move. Very good move, but it depends. Are they going to get split up right here? Due to connector.
Yeah, it's a nice
He takes out one.
position,
Ooh, nearly gets the second. Emperor on his own and connecting that. And Cyber's got the info that they're on site, but they've got a man stuck in between them though. Frankston doesn't check for him either. Ooh, but it doesn't matter.
I don't actually understand how Emperor hasn't got that frag, and now both players
Kits
are
on
sort of
Fearless.
stuck on site.
You would think there's more kits to be in play, due to the fact that they have won the first 3 rounds, but they are not. It's only Fearless with the kit. 2 flashes to work with. The guys are stuck on site essentially. It's a really horrible situation to be in, honestly. 2v1. Can Quizzy make up for the poor performance map?
Danny Frank.
Unless he's not able to. They need to recover that AWP that was down, in fact.
Yeah, I'm surprised Frank's is not actually running
I'm
for
assuming
it.
that's what they're going for now. Unless this call hasn't been very clarified to its mid-wall.
Not ideal.
I think it's been shot all the way onto the bottom.
That's not great. I mean, Trouble did
grab one.
There we go.
I'm going to assume that was maybe Brody's one?
Potentially. We'll have a look when Fearless whips it out. No, it's his.
It's his.
So somehow they did get it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
That's
not too sure about
odd.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that round, unfortunately, was in the hands of Emperor there. Just fluffing
if he gets that
a
kill
bit
and
on
connector,
Frankster.
it changes everything.
Yeah.
Especially with Fearless going the long way around.
Exactly.
Like, that's all the info in the world.
And it does look like they're just resorting back to the B rush.
Here comes the B rush. How can London Lynx hold this situation then? Fearless gets 1-2 for the entire round, and the mollies are stopping the other 3 players from pushing out. Nobody has a smoke to put it out.
Crizzy like half commits, loses half his health.
Hates to see it. Oof! Shoulder peek, 1 tap. Beautiful, you love to see it. Can they do anything else though? They literally have no grenades to work with. They have to rely on their aim. It's honestly not all that's there. I mean, Emperor does have the firefight against Zero. He doesn't even hit him.
Cyber's made a go. Crizzy's made a go of it, and hopefully more of that, please. I mean, those were some crisp headshots. He's been picking himself up this land, but haven't seen much of it yet. And hopefully, it's a sign of more things to come. I mean, if him, Tarus, and Brody can link up, that's some firepower right there. You know, it's
definitely. The question is, does Emperor have much of a playbook available to him?
Sure.
On this cobble, because we mentioned it was London Lynx's pick. As Trouble does just wipe out 3 opponents straight through mid smoke.
I mean, I'd be surprised to see him play it like that again. He's already.
Yeah.
They should have noticed that he's been doing that.
He's
several
doing that on
times
the
already
as well.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's a tough thing to punish on Nico. I mean,
yeah.
If he didn't face into them earlier on in the game, he probably would have killed 3 of them.
Sure.
In that time they were coming mid as well. It's just. We need to see something come out of mYinsanity, because so far we've not seen them start strong once this game.
No, I mean it just feels like when they get to their gun rounds, it's either we'll do a strat where we dedicate 5 players towards it, and they don't really take enough map control beforehand to force rotations, or they just rush, and again it's just like a 5-man CS type train. It either goes their way or it doesn't. So yeah, again it's just. Not as much as we were hoping for, really.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting, really. Like, it makes you wonder how much have they actually put into practicing these maps and like their defaults, executes, that sort of thing. Like, it's all well and good to be, have 1 or 2 executes from both sites or something.
Yeah, and it's more about using their practice time effectively.
Yeah, that's another thing that a lot of UK teams do not really take into account. Like they'll be like, oh, we've practiced 5 days a week.
Yeah, I mean we've played 5 PCWs today, and we've done
what
that
have
all
we
week.
learned?
And yeah, they don't focus on what they've learned, and they don't spend enough time on the server. I mean, there we go.
That's an interesting anti-strat decision, isn't it? Obviously, Trouble killed them in that position last round.
And that should scare Trouble off for the rest of the half.
If I'm him, I go back there, though.
Yeah, he's
straight after those nades.
And he's doing just that. No fear.
Classic move. Ooh. There was a close angle on Tarus then when he was over the smoke.
Very confident. That's rough.
Firing back has been an interesting choice.
Yeah,
that previously guarantees that you have been hit.
Almost confirming to the terrorist that you have been hit, yeah.
But Fearless does get taken out at B long, right? It doesn't actually get anything off towards Emperor.
Cyber with
There's the quick trade though. Yeah. Goes to even. And Crizzy he's tempting fate with this battle, isn't he? I mean, the molly comes there, they get the AWP back. I assume. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, finally Frank's shifted over towards A, but yeah, he is going to get out and maybe re-aggress with trouble towards A long.
The lucky thing for mYinsanity right now is they've got a lot of grenades and they're able to execute, but they still need to win the firefights, and we're just not seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's poor trading as well.
Frankster does get the info on the other two players. They haven't even seen trouble on this site, other than earlier on in the round.
Technically, they never saw him. They should know that
should be able
he's
to
the dedicated A player,
destroy them,
but
that's the plan stopped, and last player Brody. Trouble will get the info on him. 2v1.
it's doable. It's 20 seconds left.
20
no
seconds
nades
left.
to work with.
Literally no nades on the map right now either. He's got smoke actually. He just picked one up off Crizzy's body.
He
Both
could play
players
this
are sticking
headshot angle
together.
here, but
Yeah. So he opts to smoke the front of site, which honestly that keeps the CTs thinking, because that's a bit of an interesting smoke. But Cyber wins the firefight. It's quite unfortunate, really. Like he had the smoke down, but there was a gap on both sides of it, which kind of makes it a bit peculiar. Like obviously the CTs can be checking through that one gap.
yeah. A nice position people like to play is towards that cannon when you can use the wall as a
there's a tiny
sort of headshot as they come out connector, but no, it wasn't to be for Brody as shoots his dead body. No
Some
respect.
good old BM.
Yeah, and again, 7-0 for London Lynx.
Yep.
mYinsanity's just not in the game so far again.
Yeah, we just need to see more from them, honestly.
Yeah, they need to get quicker with these starts. You know, you can't afford to go 7-0 down consistently. Like, it's just not good enough for them.
As well as that, you're giving yourself a mountain to fight back from.
Exactly.
And this is actually going to be a quick B rush strat.
Yep.
This is an old luminosity strat, essentially. You smoke off path, smoke off center site, and then you come straight out of plat and hopefully get the kills down. But Cyber and Fearless have got an interesting setup. They get taken out. It's a 3v3. And the plant should be coming down.
Nice damage done by Crizzy, but can't find the kill.
Zio's got himself in an interesting position. He probably takes both of them out on site, and he knows he's plat as well. He's held that spray. Oh my god, he's just taking the firefight. Emperor took ages to kill him.
Again, Emperor sort of fluffing his lines a bit, but at that point it was still on 1v3 for him. And
yeah,
and
you have to
nice
think he was up against the wall, I guess.
a nicer strat from the boys though. You know, mYinsaniity, they got their 3 entries, or 2 entries.
It's just surprising to see that come out after 7 rounds.
Yeah, potentially a desperation play, but
it's just weird. This is your elimination game.
yeah,
Like, this is single elim. You've lost the first map. You lost your own pick. There just doesn't seem to be nobody's
just
manning
gonna
up
rush
and
B
taking it. We need to see more.
potentially more of a contact play through the smoke. I'm thinking.
Yeah, they can get everybody grouped up.
Yeah, just
question is,
simple
Fearless
puggy
is
strat.
ready. Can
Zio's
they
not
actually
been
get him
blinded
out?
at all.
Oh, he's missed the shot. No scope doesn't even matter. Gets the guy in plat. Last guy live. Emperor 1v5.
Yeah.
Cleanly dealt with.
And again, that's a real desperation play. That's Tarus flashing them out. I mean, it just
And the
seems like a
tactical pause at 9-0.
yeah. Again, bit late.
Bit late.
Bit
Yeah.
Better late than never, but still a bit late. But yeah, that round, you know, it's sort of just go behind this smoke. I'll flash you out. But Zio's not been blinded. Fearless has recovered in time to start knocking off shots, and yeah, it's not looking good for mYinsanity.
Yeah, it's really just disappointing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you should be capable to play most of the maps when you've been a team for longer than at minimum. Like, so usually teams will suggest you go like 1 week per map.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're playing an ESCA season, that's what, 3 months roughly.
Yeah.
And they give you a different map every week. You play 2 best officials on it, and the idea would be usually you play you practice the map. The schedule is on. Which means you should probably feel comfortable on most of the maps, but then you'll have ones obviously that you are better on.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want to have 4 maps that you can, consider these are our 4 better ones, and you can guarantee they're not going to be, they're always going to be at least one of them that you'll be playing. Obviously, Inferno was their preferred pick, and
yeah, I mean it was a better showing on that, but
yeah, but it's just
once you get to these best of 3 stages, you need
it
to
needs
be
to be
ready.
better.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, there was a situation where Tarus maybe left the lineup and then rejoined, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, still at that point, they've been together for a while, so you'd expect more. And they have whipped out 5 grenades here, and I know you do love your HEs.
Oh yeah.
So maybe some tactical placements, potentially trying to abuse Trouble in mid.
It was actually Trouble did actually have an AWP about 2 rounds ago.
Yeah.
Which he's gotten rid of now. But I imagine will he go? I don't think he'll go back to playing behind that smoke, will he?
I mean,
I don't know where else you're going to pre-nade, though.
yeah. I mean, you get those nades down drop potentially, but
They haven't played in drop, I don't think.
no.
They've been playing from outside the window since the get-go.
You'd like to say that this is a read, and they are all looking towards mid. So
They must have something in mind.
yeah, I mean, if Trouble's brave enough to go behind that smoke again, he could be in for a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, we haven't seen him use Matrix much, so Zio and Trouble are actually going to be close to mid, yeah. Zio smokes it for him.
He is going
The
there.
nades are getting prepared, 3 of them.
There we go. And there we go.
Wow,
Yeah, I
there's the
mean,
kill.
he's just played it one too many times at
Yeah.
that point, and yeah, he gets punished for it.
I'm surprised you risk that situation, really.
Yeah. Especially when you've seen them try that sort of thing already.
Yeah, you could probably go Matrix, maybe, and hold from there one round.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be... You don't need to be behind that smoke every time.
Cheeky little boost coming in at drop from mYinsanity, trying to catch someone off at an unexpected angle.
Bit of an interesting. So,
But they have
last game we actually saw Emperor pause at, I believe, 9-1. I mean, this is looking like a good round for them so far.
Yeah,
They're going to
somehow.
single out Zio.
You know
How
what,
many
it's-
people
it's-
can Zio take with him? Gets 1. It's probably not enough in this
It's
circumstance.
almost a carbon copy is the last map. You know, the one round that got them back into the game was that random eco that they just charged up mid.
Yeah.
And once again, you know, not much to work with. 5 grenades getting the entry. And yeah, I mean, set to finally take the first round for themselves.
Yeah, you could argue it was probably an error from, I believe it was Frank playing Electric Ruin.
Yeah.
So you have 4 players left. You have B part control. And, you know, you're just thinking you shouldn't probably, like, the way you'd want to spread out would be ideally, you got Zio playing A, you want to have a guy in connector, a guy outside Electric, and then you want a guy holding B plat. That way you can't be, you know, they split drop, that's fine.
Yeah.
You'll have somebody both sides of it. Obviously the A player, you rely on him to get a kill, or maybe 2.
Yeah. Well, potentially he didn't hear them drop that round. As a
Yeah,
as he
as
explains in
found
chat.
out in chat, yeah.
Yeah.
Might have done something, but I suppose he lost the firefight.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
suppose at the end of the day, yeah. Normally you would hear them drop and you'd be prepared for it. Maybe he wasn't, I guess.
But yeah. Now the real test, obviously, again, is to string these two rounds together and try and make this a respectable
It makes it
half.
interesting though, because they've got enough money regardless. If they lose this round, they do still have 4 players on a good buy. So I guess they've got 2 rounds to work with here. They need to get a win in one of them.
Oh, it looks like Brody's just
He has spotted
mid
it.
there.
Spam does damage Rebel a bit though. It feels like Fearless has not had any sort of repercussion about B plat this game.
Yeah.
Like, he had the one round where he actually did get killed by Crizzy, but otherwise he's not had to do anything different.
He's set up a jazzy little one-way smoke, but doesn't look like
Yeah.
anyone's going to walk into it. Looks like they are setting up for an A split here. Trouble's going to re-aggress at A long and should be caught out, and he is.
So that signals the rotate from Zio.
Yeah, and connector will be open if they
There
go
we
down
go.
drop
Cyber's
fast
moving
enough,
too. The players in drop. Well, they're not actually in drop yet. I'm not sure if they hear it.
Look like Emperor's trying to fake out the noise, just jumping above it.
You can't fake out somebody who can't hear you.
You're not wrong. There we go. Frank
That's the
holding that
kill.
angle once again.
It's very similar. So Emperor does a lot of lurk calling.
Yeah.
Is one thing I noticed as well with this team. It's a small thing which you notice very clearly, and Zio gets the first kill. Will Brody actually come out for the wide swing? He does get the kill. 3v3. Frankster is already out. He gets a dink as well. There's some decent damage being done, but
Cyber's just charged in and Brody's ready.
yeah, Fearless 1v3. CT side, I'm not like if it's T side, I feel he's got a decent chance, but CT, I'm not too sure.
He's going to go for it.
Will he actually look down mid though? Is the question. I don't think he is going to. I think Therese is playing inside anyway.
Oh, that's a
hang on.
dirty flick.
Emperor's call short pause.
He's flicked them so hard they've paused the game.
Apparently. Not sure how he's flashed himself there.
No.
I feel like that flash wasn't in his sight.
But yeah, I mean, again, similar situation to the first map. An odd round gets them back into the game, and once they've got their foot in there, they can start making things work.
And the money situation on the London Lynx side isn't great.
No,
I mean,
they've still
Franks is the
got
one with the weak money, really.
they've still got one buy in them, surely.
Yeah.
And still whip that AWP out on Fearless. If he wants to go glass cannon, he can buy some grenades, but there we go.
That's one. No wonder that pause came out so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a fun situation to be in.
Yeah.
2v1, someone screaming down the mic in TS.
during a LAN elimination game. Somebody invading your TeamSpeak server.
Yeah,
and screaming.
It's not ideal.
No. So it does look like Frankster gets a bit of a weak buy. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
not
thing in the
terrible.
world, yeah. Just depends. Is Fearless actually going to go for an AWP?
Yeah.
Then?
I'd actually be surprised if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Time will
Just
tell.
depends, doesn't it? Because he's had B long control every round.
Yeah, and he is going to
Yeah.
buy it.
The only ones he hasn't actually taken B long or B plat rather is when they have rushed it, and he has survived on that statue for long enough to allow his team to rotate.
Yep.
So this should be perfectly fine for him. 9-2, and we should be seeing a CT eco if they do lose this round.
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect mYinsanity to keep up this pressure towards A, because that is where they found their footing this half. You know, Trouble has actually moved off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Frankster's actually now playing Castle, and Zio's there with him. So they're adjusting to the fact that Trouble has been picked quite a few times towards A.
Yeah.
And that's usually where they've been abusing alley control, that sort of thing. So
I'm
two players
curious
there.
as to whether that is potentially Frankster just saying, I know how to hold A, just swap with me and we'll sort it out after the game, or if it's something they normally do to switch things up. But
yeah.
mYinsanity, they're not bothered about A. They're fully committing to this B bomb site already.
But at the same time, they're both coming in. This is going to be a full 8-man battle.
And they're taking plat as well at the same time.
Fearless gets the first one. How many people are actually going to be there? Because there's Molly burning him. And all the CTs are winning their fights. Surely not. It's all on to Roos. He's already come out of drop and he doesn't get another one.
Now that's just a bit awkward,
It's
isn't
a peculiar battle, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you don't often see that. Both teams slowly walking into each other.
Yeah, considering Fearless was full white for a long part of
Yeah.
that round. And he'd managed to live running from stairs all the way back to site. It really shouldn't have happened, but I suppose the rifles next to him did win their game fights as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, they've done enough towards A to force that two-man stack all the way in Castle, so if they had got those entries, they probably would have secured the round, but
Yeah.
it's just not to be.
The question is really, what kind of adjustments will they be making? So they did potentially, play the different sort of style. Like, technically it was coming out of the pause, I suppose. And they did go towards B. They found out the 3 players.
And here we go. They're
going to be testing this now. The Castle take. So are they going to be using fast? No, they're just going to dry. Because obviously they have gone up to their contact
They
every
do
single time
expect
before
Frank to
that.
be here. That's a nice shot from Brody.
It's different, isn't it? That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
But Zio's making a different kind of play. He's been dinked. And he knows he has to kind of make some sort of play.
It looked like Dylan was ready for that.
Yeah,
and
he was checking it, wasn't he?
You feel like you've run back that far, you might as well. He's obviously got an inkling, but...
So they're going to let Fearless potentially play this part on his own.
Yeah, and they're more than happy to slow this down.
That's
There
a
he
big
is,
kill from
there's
Zio.
Zio.
That's caused chaos in the T side right now. Emperor's sprinting over, trying to find out what's going on.
Yeah, and he's playing this smartly
He's
as well.
repositioned nicely as well, hasn't he? The timing might be against him here, depending on where Emperor actually checks. At the same time, Fearless is getting pushed from the side too. And there is a mannequin connector as well.
Oh, this is just chaos.
Carnage. There's action everywhere on the map right now.
Yeah, and the bomb does finally get planted, and it's...
There's no kit though.
Yeah, it's a confusing one. This
Trizzy has the angle on Zio, and it's 2v3 coming from connector. I'd like to see a save myself. This is a 1400 loss bonus round.
Yeah, and they are going to be sensible about it, and they are going to save. No kits, obviously, no nades to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, Trouble is still hanging around for exits potentially. I don't know why you do that.
He might be thinking about the AWP, I guess. Fearless did
Oh,
die
yeah.
close to mid ramp, but I feel like it gets it's all. I think it'll get blasted all the way down mid, won't it? In fact, Emperor's taking it. Even better, really.
There we go. Yeah.
So they saved 2 guns. Scoreline's 10-3.
Yep.
So technically, since that pause, they have won 3 rounds.
Exactly.
So it has made some kind of impact.
Yeah, 100%. And like we said, take that a bit earlier, and maybe you get 6-4, 6-5, and then it's a much more competitive half as a whole. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a strong finish at this rate, anyway. So yeah, I mean, London Lynx have forced into that round behind those 2 rifles.
The thing is, as soon as they see that smoke come out of mid,
Yeah.
I feel like it's always going to be trouble playing it.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
when they changed it up, they didn't smoke mid or anything, did they?
back to his old antics, and he is trying to play.
He
just
does have the
some of
peak
that
on it.
smoke.
It's an interesting jump.
It's a dangerous game to play when you're solo A, but he's confident enough.
Yeah, you either have to play really aggressive or just all the way back in a situation where you're 1 and maybe more kills.
Ooh, it does look like they might be trying to...
Yeah, Truce does tempt it, doesn't he?
Don't want to be going into Frankster and Zio. Max 7's got something to say.
Molly stops it. Oh, he gets a dink on the way out, though. 96 damage.
That's not nice.
All the way out. The awkward bit about that gun is that you don't know how much damage you actually did just do.
Sure.
You might be thinking it might be 10-1.
I've dinked him and you've done 20 HP.
Yeah.
How does that gun work?
It's an awkward situation.
But yeah, I mean the advantage is definitely London Lynx at this point health-wise.
Yeah, 2 players relatively low. Trouble still has a molly in play on the C site too. Action at mid. He's going to molly alley. If he needed down mid, he would have caught Emperor off too. But they're storming up. Zio at cannons should be the man to actually save this potential round.
Yep,
he needs to get 2, maybe 3. As his teammates arrive, Crizzy takes him out.
Lovely shot.
And he's been mollied out of under balcony as well, but he's somehow got this far out. Don't know how that's been allowed.
Yeah.
And Cyber's slow to the rotate again.
Yeah, I mean...
It feels like I don't know, is he finding himself in situations where he's literally as far as he possibly can be?
Potentially. I mean, when you're that last rotator anyway, if everyone's dead...
You do try and hold it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone's dead, there's not much you can do anyway, but... Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to look at, and Tarouche there, he's not letting him save, and... Yeah, I mean, they've set themselves up to take 10-5 at the end of this half.
The money on the London Lynx side is really weak.
Yeah, it definitely feels like deja vu looking at that first map.
Definitely.
If only mYinsanity could start a bit faster.
Yeah, it just seems to be a common trend right now anyway, at least like the map against Wind and Rain as well, especially.
Yeah.
They start off like 7-0 down, 7-1 down, even 9-1. Like it's... In fact, they've thrown those fast B-rush smokes again, but they're going... Okay, this is interesting. They're going straight down Dragon Wall instead. And it looks like Emperor might go out himself. No, he doesn't.
I mean,
But
Trouble's jumped over that smoke there.
Yeah.
He's seen nothing and he's just been...
Thing is, this is going to be just both teams colliding instantly. Everybody is here.
And you'd think they're just going to try and get out and help Frankster, but...
I mean, Frankster's still alive somehow. How is he allowed to be doing what he's doing right now? They were too paranoid about Zio potentially pushing behind them, but they were just checking behind fully. As we say that, it was a 4v2, now 2v2, back to a 1v1. So Zio last spotted in B holes behind Dylan. Dylan doesn't have a clue where he is right now.
Yeah.
Zio hasn't even shot a bullet. And he gets the timing. Missed the bullet!
That's rough. That is rough.
That's so unlike Zio.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's an aim beast.
Yeah, he's normally cool as a cucumber.
Oh, he just doesn't land the spray. And it means that mYinsanity finish off the half very strong.
Yeah, exactly. They've won 5 of the last 6. And yeah, I mean, points to take this and make it competitive if they can pick up this pistol again.
Yeah, it's an awkward situation. Like, if London Lynx take the pistol, you feel like you're up against it.
Yeah.
But let's see how mYinsanity do. They've obviously got CZ on Emperor with a smoke.
Yeah, it looks like a fast mid from the T's. Probably just flash them through and smoke off connector once you take that.
How many kills will Truce and Parodi be able to get in this situation? Because obviously he's got the info, they're running up mid. With how he was playing though, you're probably not going to expect the guy it would. Truce gets 1. Can he get a second? That's the question. He gets a second towards side, but that is the bomb as well. Bomb down at alley. And Brody's still alive on site too.
Players just running all over the place.
But it looks like it's down to a 2v2. Fearless and Trouble. Trouble doesn't have armor, which
Trouble
is a bit
could
of an
actually get away here, and Fearless could slip through connector. But he's not going to.
Quite unlucky. They did spot him.
Yeah, he could play some mind games.
He has played a mind game here, hasn't he?
Yeah, and already Crizzy's running off.
Kind of crazy to think that Brody was the man who got first contact in this round.
Yeah,
and he's still alive.
Yeah, I prefer this from Crizzy. He's not exactly leaving Brody to the wolves, but yeah, I mean, you can play together in this situation so easily. You've got the kit. You should be confident enough, but 2 swift one taps from Trouble, and it could all be over.
I'm interested to see if Crizzy potentially gets timed or like. Okay, he spotted him there. A dink has probably been called there, but I don't think they know it's not actually a proper dink. Doesn't matter. Brody gets the one shot.
And there we go.
10-6.
Yeah. And now,
when they need the pistols, they do take them.
We are really getting into deja vu's territory. If they lose this round, I have no idea what's going on. And yep, London Lynx forcing into it once again.
Yep.
Not very surprising. And quite a lot of SMGs from mYinsanity.
Yeah, 3 UMPs, MP7.
I hope
Obviously,
we
there was no plant, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we actually see these nades come into effect.
They're just going to flash through mid. They're going to be meeting 2 UMPs at mid right now. Truce gets 1. Brody, he only gets 1 as well. But there is already a player rotated, though. Emperor did actually get himself there. So a bomb plant right now for Lynx could be pretty good.
Sure.
It's just, can that happen? I mean, that's a dink as well.
Yeah, and that is all they're going to get from this round, surely.
I can't imagine Trouble as much more.
Yeah, he does fall.
So again, I think it's quite... is that basically the exact same thing that happened last game? I don't think they got a plant, did they? They killed 2 people. But it wasn't a plant, I don't think.
I thought they lost the anti-eco last round.
No, not last month, no.
Oh, there we go then.
I remember Fearless bought that Deagle on its own, and then
Yep.
he got the AWP on the first buy with the 5450, but he got grenades instead of Kevlar.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And he'll probably do the same thing again, because he's put himself in a position to get 5550 this time.
Exactly.
Question is, will he do something different, because it's not Inferno?
Yeah.
Because it feels like there's a lot more reliance on grenades on Inferno, obviously.
Yeah.
And Emperor's done a bit of a jazzy B long smoke as well, which he did from SWAT at A. That's landed halfway up B long, and then they've taken quick control.
Yeah. Nice.
So I imagine Trouble's going to flash him through mid, but I feel like there's a slight issue that he's got the bomb here, but it probably doesn't mean much. How many will Brody get at this mid hold? Actually, he's running straight away.
Tarus, on the other hand, is ready to give in. Ready to pop on those eco frags, and he does.
Should hear both of them. That's right over. They still get a kill out of that situation.
Yeah, but
it wasn't an SMG,
yeah,
which makes it a bit.
Yes, absolutely fine for them.
Yeah.
And now
Fearless has done the exact same thing.
Exactly, yeah.
No Kevlar. Prefers the grenades.
Nice.
It's interesting, really. Like normally you would see people, first thing they buy would be just Kevlar, and then you'll see what you can get.
I do like the consistency though.
Yeah, not just a map by map thing. This is a heavy A default presence from the London Lynx side.
Yeah.
Fearless holding that alley push, been smoked off. So I think did both CTs on A use their smokes straight away? Yeah, they did. In fact, mYinsanity used 4 smokes from 140, which is a bit questionable.
Yeah, very questionable.
And Quizzy used his... That's the final smoke used, which means that by 110, there'll be no smokes left down by mYinsanity.
Yeah, I
they've got a lot of map control, I suppose, on B, but at A, they have nothing.
Yeah, and surely you take that map control and you've got the grenades on the other side of the map to hold them off. But yeah, they just have not set themselves up for that. They've got...
It's an interesting setup at alley as well.
It's an aggressive sort of crossfire. Happy to give them mid, but...
So they hear the smokes coming.
Yeah, they've got that one body to hold them off.
And they're using a lot of flashes. They've pulled 2 people over with this. And they've lost that B long control, technically.
Yeah.
If Trouble were to go B long, this would mess up the system entirely.
He's going to be a bit of a nuisance here in drop.
Yeah, he's going to keep 3 players around him. Quizzy has to take B long control just so they have that back. But here comes the contact. Both players have been seen at alley. They get 2. They get a 3rd. Can't help but feel like that shouldn't be possible. But Trouble does get a kill lurking too.
Yeah, but...
What can Zero and Trouble do in this situation?
They have the bomb here, surely.
Yeah.
Poised to win this round.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, he's seen Emperor's Shadow and he does get that frag.
This is an awkward 2v2. Okay, so Zio has information on at least one of the players. Obviously, Brody was last seen at Wood, but it's not going to be looking that way. There was only 15 seconds on that clock as well.
Yeah, bit awkward. And yeah, that setup that we were talking about, it did come to fruition. And yeah, I mean, they somehow managed to kill them when they were coming up mid and then flick around and take the A long guys at the same time.
And we are potentially looking at the score evening up.
Yeah,
right now as well.
An interesting buy coming in from London Lynx.
Yeah, it looks like Cyber had a decent amount of cash.
Sure, I mean, the UMP, it hasn't been so strong recently, but he's believing in it.
It looks like they're planning to burst the smoke.
Yeah.
So the instant call really should be, they haven't done their B long smoke this time. It's something different as well. Will they expect to play on G? I mean, Crizzy was playing anti-flash to begin with. Perfect play for him. Fearless does take 1 down. Crizzy gets another, and I mean, Zio's got armor and an M4. He's a 1v2. He's got smoke. He can get this plant if he really wants it, and he will get it for free, I imagine. Okay, he's checking
there's a molly there on the floor to work with.
Yeah,
but
I can't imagine him going for that.
No. He is. He's walking around to.
He's only got 11. Oh, he made noise when he dropped just then.
But
He's got 11 bullets. I can definitely see him running out of bullets in this round. Unless he gets both of their backs. Don't shoot.
neither
Okay.
of them are looking.
Again,
Oh,
we've seen this before though. Guess one. He's out of bullets.
Oh,
He's got 4 bullets in the CZ though. Can he get any?
no. Oh, you called it.
He runs out of bullets though.
You hate to see it. The
It's
first
such
one was such
the
a
first
clean
one was
frag
nice.
as
3
well.
bullets, maybe 4. And he
Wow.
just doesn't do quite enough. He
I
lives
mean-
for 3 seconds longer.
Yeah.
And he wins the round as well.
I don't think London Lynx will be too disheartened.
No,
That
it was
was-
a Kevlar.
Yeah, it's a bit
pistol
of a
buy, wasn't it?
bonus. Bit of a bonus round there. Emperor apparently not meaning to jump there. But yeah. I mean, it does mess up the economy for mYinsanity. They're all sort of having to rebuy here. And yeah,
3k at best from one of the players there.
yeah, all evened up though from 7-0. So they fought back into this.
It's definitely interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously we felt like we needed to see a lot more from mYinsanity
Yeah.
in that first half. Last third of that half, they gave it all. They got 5 rounds in.
Pause the game.
Yeah, it kind of let them try and adjust what was needed to be done. And it has worked out for them.
Yeah.
And it's now 10-10. And it's quite a slow round being played out by London Lynx. So first few rounds, mYinsanity were getting B-long, like hold really aggressively.
Yeah.
They took it right from the get-go. But now they're reverting to a very defensive setup involving tree, inside electric, just by rock, and playing 2A.
Yeah, Trouble is going to try and make some presence, but I think he's about to run into Brody's orb.
Timing
He does just unscope at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Brody's
smartly
run
enough,
away.
Trouble's
I think
straight
Trouble
through that.
might catch Tarus, depending on timing here. Yeah, he will. Or is he going to walk past him?
Yeah, there we go.
Very smart play from Trouble, obviously. He
Yeah,
was
I like that.
tempted to find out how many other people are actually here.
Yeah, and smartly enough from London Lynx, they're not running back. They're gonna
No. They let
pray
him.
that they.
He's the
shift
caller
over.
after all. He'll be calling, just let me do this fake, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you when you can go.
I'm not sure.
As soon as he dies, they need to
I'm
go.
not sure if he realizes that Brody did manage to get on site here.
No, he doesn't have a clue.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, it is starting to kick off. But
Is he?
Trouble. This is a thorn in their side. They've got to get these
Yeah.
kills at B long quickly, or else Trouble's just going to come
You
in.
see him in Cubby?
Oh, he's missed them
Emperor?
shots.
There we go.
There we
wow.
go. Trouble. Insane round here. Like,
Honestly, Crizzy, it doesn't look like he had a sound on for that round. Okay, he was going through Hobbit. He shot the vent out, crawled through. Crizzy was still looking out the balcony.
I mean,
Bizarre.
is that people just sitting near him screaming? Do you think, or
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. It was
That's-
quite bizarre.
that is odd? But yeah, Trouble. Great play there from the in-game leader himself.
Yeah. Obviously, you could add a bit of luck based on the timing of that
Sure,
smoke that
yeah.
Brody threw.
But
But at
he,
the same
he-
time, Tarus should have been. He should have acknowledged somebody could have walked through that.
yeah, he was smart enough to realise that he's smoked off, and he does tend to just fall back
Yeah.
after that smoke.
It's quite rare that you smoke that and then hold looking at it, because
Yeah.
it's quite a deep angle anyway. You're committing quite hard if you stay there. But Brody does keep this orb. And the money is not great on mYinsanity. After
No.
that close round by Zio,
Yeah, and luckily for London Lynx, they've survived with 4 players, so
they keep
started
it
to
up
build
too.
yeah, I mean
Which
they've
is a
got a
bonus.
guaranteed buy round after this if they do lose it, and yeah, mYinsanity in a dire straits with their economy
This
again.
is a massive round. 11-10. London Lynx win this, they've got a reset from mYinsanity, and you could probably be looking at 13-10 on a buy round.
Yeah,
Can they take this one though? So it's slightly different. So Emperor's actually playing mid now, and Tarus is at Arab.
yeah.
So
Trouble,
the AWP is moving around primarily, is the idea.
Trouble, you know, it's quite a common style, I suppose, in the UK with IGLs just lurking towards A,
Yeah.
lurking towards B potentially, but yeah, he's confident enough to just drag these players across the map. But yeah, bit of aggression was looking like it might come out from Brody, but he's thought better of it.
It's a weird situation because obviously, the longer you keep 2 players at A, the scarier it is to have, the 3 at B.
Yeah, I mean they do have plat control now, but could easily be getting mollied off in this position. Dylan, he does have a smoke for
Frank
it.
says
but
getting ready to do it. Here comes the molly, and Dylan's opting to put it out, and
oof, there
he
we go.
tried to
yeah.
move instantly. Normally you see people wait a few seconds, because usually they will spam it as soon as you put that smoke down.
Yeah, and actually it is Brody here on this side of the map with his AWP.
Yeah, so obviously they changed the setup a bit at A.
Yeah.
And they do still have 2 people like there. Like it's a bit
Mm.
curious about that.
Surely you take, yeah, it looks like they are taking mid now, Emperor, but Tarus should be shifting over already, and he's just not.
Hopefully we'll see a flash coming from Lynx before Frank's the peaks, but
It's
there
a
isn't.
strong position where Brody is now, and he needs to do a lot here.
He's fallen back all the way towards wedge, and he does miss that
What's it
second
come
shot,
out?
but Crizzy's getting collapsed on, and no chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about. Just not enough players there to defend it.
Yeah, questionable really, you could argue, from Dylan. Like, he got mollied out and smoked it, but then he didn't really give a chance for any of his teammates to even do anything for him.
Like, I feel like he could still tuck in there without.
Yeah,
getting
they're not going to
smashed
do
straight away.
anything, because they can't push out to you. Like, you've got Brody there.
Exactly.
Like, they can't do anything to you.
Yeah.
They tried mollying you at once. The best they can do is wait for that smoke to go and then do it again. But you're not going to let that happen, obviously, because hopefully your teammates will be there to back you up.
Yeah.
Emperor is tempting fate, though, isn't he? Like, being above drop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he doesn't think he has that much to lose. He's only got an ump here.
He wants a potential upgrade, doesn't he?
Yeah,
But
if
Trouble's kind of
he
wary.
did, if
of
he
it.
looked over the edge, he would have seen Trouble, but not to be. And when he does peek now, he's going to be out the window anyway.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where if somebody crosses my crosshair,
Fearless
that's
might
fine.
survive here, but he's already very low. No, he doesn't have two.
Zio
players.
died as well.
I mean, that spot where Fearless was.
Could they potentially have crashed on Zio, maybe? Because I feel like Zio, he was stood in the corner next to Electric. It feels like he probably didn't think he was going to live there. Fearless might have done.
Yeah, I mean, Fearless was in there, and you can survive it, but
Yeah,
he was
I
on
think it
30
still
HP
does.
already, and then he sort
Yeah.
of realised as the bomb was about 3 seconds, sort of ran off, and then decided, oh, I'll try it anyway. And
It's a bit of an awkward situation, though, because I don't think you can do anything
Yeah,
in regards
exactly.
to that. Obviously, if it is a PC issue, try and fix the PC issue, that's fine.
yeah,
But
that is unfortunate.
you've lost that stuff no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, unless you want to replay the round and then potentially lose it. I mean, that would be a bit mental, though.
Yeah, I mean, their economy's still pretty much alright. Fearless can get his orb.
Yeah, and obviously they kept the 2 guns on the mYinsanity side. But it is only an M4 and a UMP. Truce does rebuy his grenades.
Yeah.
So
Well,
do
he's
you,
only rebought a smoke.
yeah, do you put him towards like the B site and try and, you know, back that up, or do you have him anchor A just on his own?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd probably stack around the rifle. I mean, I know a lot of teams sort of...
They do the opposite usually.
Yeah, exactly, but in this case, they're all USPs, apart from that ump. You know, you want your best chance to win the round. You can take it into the round anyway if they don't go to the bomb site that he's at. And yeah, they are sort of stacking around him, although he is
Yeah.
falling off already.
Just roaming, but they are trying to make a play at drop. But
Yeah, with the other...
Zio can actually... How does that not kill him?
I actually have no idea. Look, if you see, there is a bit of a decal on the wall, and somehow he shot through that rather than
Yeah.
clean in his head.
I guess that's just a situation where, you know, the bullet doesn't go exactly where
Yeah.
the crosshair
Potentially, yeah.
is, I guess.
But yeah, that's not too nice for Emperor. He's going to be feeling that.
Only 38 health with Kevlar and
Yeah,
UMP.
and, again, we see a similar setup from London Lynx, just Trouble doing his thing over at A. What's
Thing
everyone
is,
else
this sort
holds?
of thing can only work against a certain level of teams. Like,
Yeah,
you know, the others will click and they'll identify.
exactly.
If he's at this side of the map, this usually means that they're at the other. But that was something that always happened in previous situations. My own teams, in regards to when Amy was lurk on,
Yep.
people would identify that and then they'd scream, "It's the other side!"
Yeah,
It's-
and
it's in
potentially
here.
that shows how, I don't want to say far behind the UK
No,
teams are, but
yeah,
that
it's
was
just
ages ago.
Yeah, that was
And
a while
they
back.
do get the kill on Emperor anyway.
And Trouble is going to try and pull some kind of fake towards this site, or at least potentially get some info.
It looks like they're
Yeah, it looks like it's more of an info situation. He hasn't
sort of
actually
just
checked
sprinting
my
back,
wall.
but it's only USPs on A anyway.
Yeah, they should be able to
Yeah, once
clear
they come
this
out,
fine.
Zio's confused. Those
They kill
silencers are
one,
they're
that's-
deadly.
Yeah,
But
it's probably
yeah,
the best they can hope for, really, I guess.
exactly. Tarus, exactly. Just save that M4, take it into the next round. Emperor probably
Brody
has the
could
chance.
keep that if he really wants to.
Yeah, Brody. Yeah, I mean, maybe just
2400.
could up his money a bit if he gets an exit, but
He has no armor, is this year.
yeah, he probably doesn't actually want to play with that next round.
No. Depends where he wants to play, I suppose. If he, you know, regardless, they can. Well, he can afford an AWP, but it'll be glass armor.
Yeah,
Like, you know, it'll be nothing essentially,
yeah.
unless he gets a kill, obviously. So, what will he actually go for in this situation? It looks like it's just a pure exit situation. Maybe when Trouble's running away, he'll run out and try and kill him. Does look like that's the plan. Does peek him, damage him. The thing is, with damaging him, it was more like that he dies to the bomb, because he's the armor.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a weird one to be in.
Yeah, I mean, potentially he just drops this over to Emperor, yeah. And then, yeah, they buy around that. Brody can just about afford glass cannon AWP, but
Yeah,
he's going to
there
go
is.
for it. He's been impactful with it this entire series, and he is 23 for 15 at the moment. Getting a bit blocked there. That's
Awkward.
just not ideal.
Awkward traffic.
Yeah.
So, London Lynx, they built up a great bank right now.
And here we go. Trouble.
This is different. Here
no
we go.
antics towards A, and they're just going to burst this B smoke. Maybe just him?
He has potentially tricked them enough to keep them involved with it, but that flash, did that get anything?
No, the first one didn't, but the second one did, and that's a
Zeo's
lovely
entry
entry
out of anything.
from Zeo.
Can he do it third? Oh, nearly. Quizzy would trade one,
It's
but
a lovely trade in.
it's just not enough, really, is it?
No, those are some stellar entries from Zeo.
Yeah, it just feels. If Trouble has got a better flash,
Yeah.
he probably gets that first.
Exactly,
kill.
like that second flash was
100%. The
more or
second
less
flash is a
perfect.
lot better.
And yeah, the CT's just forced to save.
Again.
They get that all saved at least into the next round, but yeah, it's not looking good. It looks
14
like,
to 10.
yeah, it feels like London Lynx have sort of sussed them out at this point, and they're abusing it.
Honestly, Trouble's done some stellar movements so far in these since the 10-10 mark.
Yeah.
He's made some great moves, obviously lurking towards the A, as well as just, you know, he's identified clearly that mYinsanity, they've got a 2-man A setup every single time.
Yep.
And it's very easy to, you know, dodge that, and this is how you're meant to save it. Obviously 100 health on both players. You lose 54 and 53 health
There we go.
in that archway. So
Yeah.
obviously Fearless did that on 38 last time.
Yeah, a bit of trivia for everyone at home.
If
But
you
here
ever
we
want
go.
to save there, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place to save.
But it
Eyes
does
on the
depend
bomb.
exactly on the plan.
Now, you have to feel like this is probably the last buy mYinsanity can afford before match point unless they save into the next round, but it's do or die time for them now, and again it's a 5B at the start, and it could just be the B rush.
Emperor has thrown that smoke he did earlier on in the game, though. The one that goes halfway towards B plat, I believe. But it's missed. It's landed in electric. They peeked up expecting it to be there, but both exits have.
Still can't
they've
get
got-
that kill either.
Wow. They've been entryed on both players.
Wow.
Emperor's stuck in a, you know, really difficult situation. There are two players that are low,
He's trying to sneak
He's
through
looking
the
for that
smoke,
plant,
but yeah, Fearless is too wise.
and that's where you scream save
Yeah, and there we go.
again,
Yeah, exactly.
because it's clear. We've heard this before.
Yeah. Mighty Max trademarked.
Yeah.
But I mean, from my point of view, you're looking at the two best players on this team over at the A bomb site, and these last two rounds, they must feel so frustrated. They haven't had a chance to make any impact into the round, and Brody especially must be getting extremely frustrated with the rest of his team. I mean, they just can't hold B at the moment.
It's an interesting one to be in because, I mean, obviously we're going to get a 3,400 loss bonus.
Yeah.
Both of them can drop now because obviously Brody,
Yeah,
he hasn't used a single grenade
yeah,
this
they
round.
can drop 2 M4s unless they do get hunted here.
Oh, surely not. Brody gets that one kill and then it shouldn't be possible. Oh no, he's letting him go past.
But yeah, they should be able to drop 2 M4s here.
Yeah, drop 2 M4s, and I feel like you have to switch to 4B.
Yep.
Whether
But-
it's the AWPer or 4 rifles, you have to do something.
Yeah, and this could easily be where Trouble mixes things up and just calls.
Yeah,
Let's go
you have
away.
the money to do it. That's the thing. You know, you can easily go for a ballsy call, just like, yeah, just try rushing A instead.
And this is finally switching it up. Less of 4-1. Finally, Fearless is coming with Trouble now.
And Brody putting in, I imagine that's the B long smoke that lands in front of it.
They're not going for a fast drop here. Switching the pace up completely.
Fast A split coming out. Zeo has spotted Tarus at the door as
Tarus
well.
is stuck there, but he does manage to get away back onto
He's
site.
completely on his lonesome. The 3 players at B are stuck.
but yeah, this is scary.
He needs to make a big play on his own. It's a horrible situation to be in. They're all around him. If he gets the second one,
Frag.
he keeps peeking, but wow.
Yeah, that's
There's
a
90
huge
damage
play
to
for Tarus.
Trouble. It's perfect. He's done more than enough. He'll be thinking, finally, I've had some impact on the rounds.
Exactly, yeah. Once he's had the chance, he's shown what he can do, really. And yeah, I mean, the rest of his team really need to just sort of play this smartly. And they have waited for the bomb to go down.
Thing is, we're in a situation which is
And they're
still
just gonna-
very winnable.
They're just flashing themselves through the smoke, and they've all been blind in the doorway. It's just Fearless. Yep,
That's one.
there we go.
Flash in the air. Feels quick scoped. Takes him out. Does he know where Brody is? Yes, he does. Brody's just rushing at him. Can't help but feel like Fearless probably could have played that a bit differently, I guess,
I
on
mean,
the third guy.
I suppose, yeah. I mean,
I guess. You know, obviously he quick switched when he was initially killing Dylan,
yeah.
which might have made it a bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, mYinsanity staying in this by the scrap of their teeth here. Like, I mean,
Brody and Tarus, though, technically.
yeah.
Finally get an impact on the rounds. Thanks to,
exactly.
you know, things getting switched up.
Yeah, they just kind of about afford M4s and a decent enough utility here.
Yeah.
But obviously,
It's not great, though, is it?
London Lynx have a huge bank behind them.
So Brody is going towards B with his AWP now. Trouble's probably going to go back to messing around at mid, I suspect.
Yeah.
And somehow... Okay, so obviously the first kill goes on at B long, but they've had to go back to 2A. Trouble hasn't done anything.
No, he's made absolutely no noise, and
He hasn't even shot the wall or anything.
Yeah, I don't actually understand that call.
It's very bizarre. I don't know what Crizzy was planning to do. I imagine he shoulder peeked the wall and got picked off.
Yeah.
But surely you don't go for that sort of play.
No, I don't understand. People trying to shoulder peek Fearless on land again. It's just not ideal.
No. So the flashes come in and there's
It's a nice flash, but
yeah.
not doing anything with it.
That
Another flash is
one
coming in.
doesn't
That's done nothing.
They're just using a lot of utility for no reason right now. Like Tarus is stuck at cannons, and as far as he knows, they could all be just up against the walls next to him.
Exactly, yeah.
Which makes it really awkward, which means Emperor is playing how he is. He's looking towards A from outside grounds. 2v5 on this plat situation. And Brody needs to just be in a situation where he lives as long as possible. But that's not going to happen. Zeo picks him off.
Emperor
And
does
it's
manage to get
1v3.
2, but yeah, Tarus in a dire situation here. He has to pull out something extremely special, and just getting through these doors is going to be hard enough. Fearless,
I feel like that
eyes
was on him.
And there
Another
we go.
peak.
That one is.
16-11. So a repeat of this first map, pretty much. Honestly, the round's probably in a very similar pattern.
Yeah, I'd actually like
I
to see
guess.
that.